These are excerpts from verses 1 through 50 of Shinran's Hymns of the Pure Land. Verse 1. Those who truly attain Shinjin as they utter Amida's name, being mindful of the Buddha always, wish to respond to the great benevolence. Verse 3. Amida has passed through 10 kalpas now since realizing Buddhahood. Dharma body's wheel of light is without bound, shining on the blind and ignorant of the world. Verse 4. The light of wisdom exceeds all measure, and every finite living being receives this illumination that is like the dawn. So take refuge in Amida, the true and real light. Verse 5. The liberating wheel of light is without bound. Each person it touches, it is taught, is freed from attachments to being and non-being. So take refuge in Amida, the enlightenment of non-discrimination. Verse 6. The cloud of light is unhindered, like open sky. There is nothing that impedes it. Every being is nurtured by this light. So take refuge in Amida, the one beyond conception. Verse 7. The light of purity is without compare. When a person encounters this light, all bonds of karma fall away. So take refuge in Amida, the ultimate shelter. Verse 8. The Buddha's light is supreme in radiance. Thus Amida is called Buddha, Lord of blazing light. It dispels the darkness of the 3 courses of affliction, so take refuge in Amida, the great one worthy of offerings. Verse 9. The radiance of enlightenment in its brilliance transcends all limits. Thus Amida is called Buddha of the light of purity. Once illuminated by this light, we are freed of karmic defilements and attain emancipation. Verse 10. The light of compassion illumines us from afar. Those beings it reaches, it is taught, attain the joy of Dharma. So take refuge in Amida, the great consolation. Verse 11. The light dispels the darkness of ignorance. Thus Amida is called Buddha of the light of wisdom. All the Buddhas and sages of the 3 vehicles together offer their praise. Verse 12. The light shines everywhere ceaselessly. Thus Amida is called Buddha of uninterrupted light. Because beings hear and apprehend this power of light, their mindfulness is enduring and they attain birth. Verse 13. The Buddha's light cannot be fathomed. Thus Amida is called Buddha of inconceivable light. All the Buddhas, in acclaiming a person's attainment of birth, extol Amida's virtues. Verse 14. The majestic light, transcending form, is beyond description. Thus Amida is called Buddha of inexpressible light. All the Buddhas praise this light, the cause by which Amida's Buddhahood was fulfilled. Verse 15. The light is more luminous than heavenly bodies. Thus Amida is called light that surpasses the sun and moon. Even Sakyamuni's praise cannot exhaust its virtues. So take refuge in the one without equal. Verse 16. When Amida, on becoming Buddha, first taught the Dharma, the sages present were numerous beyond reckoning. All who aspire to be born in the Pure Land take refuge in Amida of the vast assembly. Verse 17. The countless great bodhisattvas of the land of happiness have reached, quote, succession to Buddhahood after one lifetime. Entering the compassionate activity of Samantabhadra, they unfailingly work to save beings in defiled worlds. Verse 18. Amassing a stock of virtues from the Buddhas, for sentient beings of the 10 quarters, they bring them to entrust themselves to the universal primal vow. So take refuge in Amida, the ocean-like great mind. Verse 19. Avalokitesvara and Mahastama-prapta together illumine the world with the light of compassion, never resting, even for a moment, from bringing to nirvana those with mature conditions. Verse 20. Those who reach the Pure Land of happiness return to this world of the 5 defilements, where, like the Buddha Sakyamuni, they benefit sentient beings without limit. Verse 21. The free working of their supernatural powers cannot be fathomed, for they are possessed of virtues that surpass conception. So take refuge in Amida, the supremely honored one. Verse 24. People who aspire for the land of happiness dwell in the stage of the truly settled. None in that land are falsely settled or unsettled. Therefore, the Buddhas offer Amida their praise. Verse 25. When sentient beings in the various forms of existence throughout the 10 quarters, on hearing Amida's name of transcendent virtues, come to attain true and real Shinjin, they greatly rejoice at what they have heard. Verse 28. Sakyamuni Buddha states that even with his unhindered eloquence, the adornments of the land of happiness cannot be fully expounded. So take refuge in Amida, the inexpressible Buddha. Verse 29. Beings born in the Pure Land, in the past, present, and future, are not solely from this world. They come from Buddha lands throughout the 10 quarters, and are countless, innumerable, beyond calculation. Verse 30. Those who, hearing Amida Buddha's name, rejoice in it with reverence and praise, receive its treasure of virtues. The great benefit acquired with one utterance is supreme. Verse 32. The Buddhas, infinite in number, all praise Amida, whose majestic powers are boundless. From the eastern Buddha lands, countless as the sands of the Ganges, innumerable bodhisattvas go to pay homage. Verse 33. Bodhisattvas of the Buddha lands in the 9 other quarters likewise go to pay homage to Amida. Sakyamuni Tathagata has taught in verse the praise of the Buddha's immeasurable virtues. Verse 34. The countless bodhisattvas throughout the 10 quarters, to cultivate roots of virtues, revere and praise Amida in song. Let us all take refuge in the Bhagavat. Verse 36. The wondrous land, vast beyond measurement, is made up of adornments fulfilled through the primal vow. So bow down to and take refuge in Amida, the pure one who broadly grasps all beings. Verse 37. Amida's self-benefit and benefit of others have been perfectly fulfilled as the Pure Land. The compassionate means skillfully adorned to lead us to take refuge. It cannot be grasped by the mind or by words. So take refuge in the honored one beyond conceptual understanding. Verse 38. The Buddha's majestic power and primal vow, fulfilled, luminous, resolute, and ultimate, are means of compassion beyond conceptual understanding. So take refuge in Amida, the truly immeasurable one. Verse 46. The afflictions of the three evil courses are forever eliminated, and only spontaneous, delightful sounds are heard. For this reason, the Buddha's land is called happiness. So take refuge in Amida, the ultimately honored one. Verse 48. When we take refuge in the pure land of Amida, we take refuge in all the Buddhas. To praise the one Buddha, Amida, with the mind that is single, is to praise all the unhindered ones. Verse 49. When, in even a single thought moment of sincere mind, you have attained Shinjin and joy, gladdened by what you have heard, bow down in homage at the feet of the Buddha of inconceivable light. And finally, verse 50. I praise Amida's wisdom and virtue, so that beings with mature conditions throughout the 10 quarters may hear. Let those who have already realized Shinjin constantly respond in gratitude to the Buddha's benevolence. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.